Hey there. Today I'm going to be covering a four-player game of Ark Nova between four Masters level players, for those of you interested in four-player games. I like to play four-player games occasionally, just because I live in Vegas, so I'm going to be going to the World Series of Board Gaming pretty much every year, as far as I can tell, so I like to get in a little bit of practice in the four-player format that happens there. But this is a game that was put together by Sir Fluffy. Um, It's a Marine Worlds game, and you wanted to invite four Masters players because high-level Ark Nova players primarily play two-player. Hardly anyone really plays four-player all that often. So in the game we have myself. All four of us were about 7750 ELO around the time of this game. So I'm in first seat here. Um, I was a semifinalist in Emu Cup Season 1 where I lost to JD. And we've got JD in second seat here, two-time arena champion, uh, Emu Cup Season 1 semifinalist. And we've got Sir Fluffy, I think relatively unknown among top players. He didn't compete in Emu Cup. Um, doesn't have a ton of games on, I think only about 100 games on his profile. But, I mean, very impressive to get up this high ELO in so few games. Maybe he has a lot of in real life experience, or I think he's just generally seems like a all around strong board gamer. Looking at his profile, he's got a pretty high rating in multiple games. I also think he plays a good chunk of four player, given that his win rate is over 100%, which you can only achieve in games with more than two players. And then we have Propaganda Panda, Emu Cup Season 1 winner, and big props to him for putting together a lot of what happens in the competitive scene in Ark Nova. So anyways, I have the choice here between map 1A and 4A. 1A is my favorite map to play, I think. But I go with 4A just because it's a bit stronger map, and I think in 4 player, having the ability to sell cards gives you a lot more staying power in the round if people are playing it slow. And it's nice to have that option because in 4 player you have a lot less control over when the break happens. So you want to have that flexibility of being able to play either slow or fast. So Marine Worlds, we get to draft some action cards here. Um, I'm thinking, so this association card I think is awful. Um, like wasting your workers in round one just to get another worker. Um, I don't think is all worth it. Uh, Mark is interesting because either way I'm getting money. Um, someone else picks it up, I get $2. If I pick it up, I can sell it for $3 since I'm commercial harbor. So that was highly in consideration. But I think build extra pavilion seemed like yeah, it was close between these two. I think I went with the build pavilion. Also, depending on what I get in my opening hand, it would make it very easy to connect the harbor because sometimes this little choke point makes it difficult unless you're building one or two size. So yeah, so I decided to keep the build card. Everyone else is deciding their keeps. Then the even better build card pops up. Don't love that Assoc card, but yeah, I like this build card even better, so I go ahead and choose that one. And then stuck with the last one is the Assoc that lets you take partner's use from supply and take partner's use you already have, which can be pretty nice. That might be a good option for taking multiple Europe or Australia partners use to just hit up those projects, although that doesn't synergize all that well with going for habitat diversity. Um, this could also be pretty nice in 4 player, means that you can't get blocked on the partners you want, although that's not as big an issue for me in this game, given that I am in first seat. But anyways, that I have to keep that one because I have 2 builds, and then between the builds, I go with the build over Rock and Water, which is an interesting one too. I think it's one of the few action cards uh, where it actually enables you to not upgrade it, right? Because being able to build over rock or water kind of removes one of the restrictions of that you would want to upgrade build for, right? Sometimes you get locked out of building large enclosures because you can't make it through the choke points without efficiently without upgrading build sometimes. And so this kind of makes it where I'm always have the flexibility to place a 4 or 5 um, in the right spots I want. So um, there's also arguments to upgrade it early as well because on the upgraded side you get extra money, which is pretty nice as well. So it could go either way, upgraded, unupgraded. All right, so opening hand here. Um, with Europe as a project, that's the only one matching. Pretty sure I kept that. Uh, these guys don't match anything, but Raccoon is nice if you find yourself getting an extra worker in 4-player games. Since the break is so unpredictable, that boost association can pretty much guarantee that you get to take a second association and then still have time to boost it back up before the break. Um, so I do rate boost association a bit higher in 4-player. Small animals gives just another option to do another project. I think I spent a good amount of time looking at this excavation site, but I didn't see a good spot where I could make really good value of it. But breeding co-op also great in 4-player as well. There's just more projects available, less things are blocked. So it's much more likely that you're going to get good value out of one, using those 2 cubes, and 2, also getting the end game of accomplishing 5 projects just because there's so much more available in 4-player. So I'm pretty sure those were my 4 keeps. Yep. So looking at the display, I think I was pretty interested in this common wall lizard here. Um, Kind of not great that the wall lizard plus the adder is only 4 appeal, which is not a great start for your income. Also being in first player, starting with 0 appeal. Kind of hurts my income, but maybe I can just do cards a lot, sell cards, and that'll help boost my income, was my thought process. And then I figured by picking up a Europe Partner Zoo to start, and with this special assoc action, I could pick up a second Europe Partner Zoo to get me an easy um, 4 Europe, or even 5 Europe with breeding cooperation. So that, yeah. So the line I came up with was, grab Europe Partner Zoo, play these 2 lizards, small animals in the second round to get me to 2 CP, and then getting 2 Europe Partner Zoos would allow me to do that project for 5, which gets me to 7 CP, and if I upgrade a Soch, a quick donation gets me to 8 for the free Partner Zoo. So, um, you know, already thinking way ahead in the game here how I can win that race to 8 conservation points, seeing that that is looking like the most interesting reward on the track. And also grabbing the 3 X's first, if that works out as well, would be pretty good as well. So I start off by building for the wall lizard here. Plan is to stick the adder in here, and then build another one size to get the wall lizard up. JD goes ahead and grabs the Predator Partner Zoo. That was another line that I think I considered, but this one, the one I went for, gave me a clear path to 8 conservation points, so that's what I went for. But of course, with this being the only animal-based project on the board, that is definitely a uni you want to grab. And he also picked up a New Zealand fur seal, which is a great pickup. It kind of solves his second worker question. Sir Fluffy goes for Asia Partner Zoo. Doesn't match projects, but is generically good Partner Zoo. And Panda goes for Australia, suggesting that he does have an Australia animal to hit up Australia 2 next round, possibly. So I just move forward with my plan to grab a Europe Partner Zoo. Let's see. Sir Fluffy used his special action to discard a card, grab the Rhesus Monkey Park, um, which is pretty nice on Research Institute. I think he placed it so he could run up to the university pretty quickly, which is, yeah, that's what he did. Yeah, that's the nice thing about Rhesus Monkey Park. Starting it early helps you really jump across the map and take those placement bonuses very quickly. Panda plays an Adventure Playground. Very nice card to get down in round one. Uh, quick free appeal is great for your income. Sand Tiger Shark shows up, which is pretty interesting as a double matching here. I just draw cards. Gives me uh, doing it at 4 so I can get it up back sooner. So I can draw more cards sooner, so I can sell more cards, really just to supplement my incomes, given that um, I'm already foreseeing my income's being pretty low by playing the Adder Wall Lizard here. Go ahead and sell Expansion Area. Not seeing myself keeping it over all the other cards I have in hand. Explorer is also a pretty interesting draw. And JD plays Zoo School, so he's off to a pretty good start with his sponsor pickups. Draws from deck. And he has the ability to trade X tokens for 5 money, which I think in the early game, the 5 money is quite a bit more valuable. So that is great card for his income. And Sir Fluffy goes ahead and builds a big aquarium right off the bat. Gets him straight to that free university, and he's able to grab the hand size. So he's got a lot of flexibility in his plans, being able to hold on to 5 cards for the rest of the game. And also making efficient use of that build action. That's the nice thing about Marine Worlds is if you don't know what to do, hard to go wrong with a large aquarium. See, at this point, I just break 5. That was another reason why I drew cards last round, hoping to see if I could draw a playable sponsor. Explorer is a nice sponsor, but it's not playable right now, so um, I'm just pushing the break here, given that I've got nothing better to do with it. And I have to get sponsors out of the way if I want to play 2 animals. It does push the break to 7 out of 15, which I have to watch out for and see if people are able to cause the break before I can play my animals, but I felt fairly comfortable given that everyone else had played sponsors, so their sponsors are pretty low. So for Lovely digs away the America release. Yeah, you just don't know what everyone else has in their hands, so that looks like a worthwhile deny. The Sand Tiger Shark would probably also be a pretty good deny if you don't see yourself picking that up yourself. Panda goes ahead and plays a Frilled Lizard already, so yeah, he's got Australia 2 ready to go as soon as the break happens. Break is at 9 of 15, but everyone's sponsors is at 3 or lower. It's unlikely that I think people will just break with sponsors at that strength. A couple cards actions might happen, but that's not going to cause the break, so I have time to build here so I can get out the animal double play. And go ahead and sell another card here. So I think this was so the plan I had come up with, right on that first move, grabbing the wall lizard, I was thinking of doing the small animals project and grabbing a worker at 2 conservation points, so I would have that worker to grab another Europe partner zoo to hit me that 5 Europe, and giving me the flexibility to grab uh, snap or 2 size reward, depending on what looks better in the next round. And if I were to do that, right, because this plan of getting 5 Europe also involves upgrading association, there's no room to upgrade sponsors in the near future. So I was highly considering selling Explorer here. Uh, knowing I'm gonna need an extra worker for the next plan, I decide to just go for the left worker plan so I can get both an associate and a sponsor upgrade. I just felt Explorer is too strong to throw away here, so go ahead and sell the Raccoon. JD plays the Tapir and gets himself an upgrade. Yeah, a bit risky to be grabbing a worker at this point with the break at 9 of 15. Panda looking like he's probably gonna cars. Well, yeah, I think he would have enough time to. Well, actually, he's got first seal in hand, so yeah, he probably benefits more from getting a sponsors upgrade. Yeah, and he's able to mark the Sand Tiger Shark. Sir Fluffy gets guided school tours. Just a solid value for a 3 strength sponsor there. And Panda plays Arcade, right? So everyone's just kind of delaying the break here. Breaks at 9 of 15, and I cause 7 of them. So we've got a really slow first round going here. Right, so I go ahead and do my Wall Lizard and Adder play. And Panda is well in the lead, so he gets the Hypnotize. Um, so I go ahead and make use of his build action, build a random 3 size. Um, just given that now that my plans have shifted to taking left worker, right, so that I can get double upgrade, so I can get Explorer out. I figure getting a bonus build action in um, kind of makes up for a little bit not taking a 2 size reward, if that's the option. Delaying that 1 round um, means I get 1 less 2 size, but the Hypnosis action has let me plop an extra 3 size on my board. So not the strongest adder in the world, but definitely gains me some tempo in my building needs. And I really just want this round to end here. I've got nothing left to do for the round. I've got the cards I want to take into the next round already lined up. But at 8 at 11 out of 15, I don't have enough to do it, so I'm just going to draw cards here. Sell something for an extra $3. Geologist would be nice. That's kind of tempting. Um, Also, reef animals very strong, so sad to see them go. But I'm sticking to the small animals, breeding co-op, explorer line here. JD just racking up more money, trading in those X tokens, plays a penguin pool. Doesn't match any base projects, but just nice for him to get extra value from birds the rest of the game. So Fluffy gets down Dusky Leaf Monkey, so the fact that he grabbed Asia Partner Zoo suggests that he's got a primate breeding program in hand. Because it doesn't contribute to making progress towards habitat diversity. The Dusky Monkey doesn't contribute to any other base projects, so I don't see a good reason for playing it unless he's got that breeding program in hand. Or possibly a release, but if he had a release in hand, I would expect maybe he'd grab a university and then he'd have a quick double upgrades available to him. So Panda goes ahead and triggers a break. Kind of helped out by me hypnosising his build to boost his sponsor up a little bit. So that puts him in position to be able to do that. So that was a nice little side effect of the hypnosis there. Yeah, don't love discarding Geologist here. It would be a great play, but Explorer is stronger, and the small animals and breeding co-op are essential to the plan I have lined up. That geologist would have looked real nice right now if, with the cable car showing up, maybe that would have given some thought for shifting plans towards getting a cable car geologist play out. And then just hoping that I find some other means to guarantee that 8 CP. Um, but yeah, I just go ahead and go for that quick small animals here. Get my first 2 conservation points out of the way. Get my extra worker. Take my sponsor upgrade. Upgrade that first. Um, so that I can use it for my explore action. Since I still need a second partner zoo before I can play the breeding co-op. JD just grabs the university. So uh, his start is looking good with a lot of great sponsors, picking up first seal, but not having a project round 2 is a knock against his game at the moment. Interesting, Fluffy spends an X on cards first and digs away the Sand Tiger Shark, which actually puts it straight into JD's hand because he marked it. Um, but he does that to guarantee himself grabbing the cable car, um, which is an interesting move. He could have just done his um, breeding program project to snap it, but maybe he has other plans for his snap or for his project reward. Panda does his Australia project, takes a worker, 2 conservation points, and 2 size reward. Pretty classic Panda move there. Covers draw from range, and he drew a Rhea. Doesn't match any base projects, but it does deny JD, who's got a penguin pool. And it's just a solid 2 size animal to fit in these 2 sizes he's going to be generating. I just go ahead and get my Explorer down. Going to be great value given I only have 2 tags in play. JD X's down build. He has 17 money with no partner zoo, so exactly enough to afford that first seal, so he does not want to build. Plus gives him X tokens to trade in for more money with his special action here. Now the Primate Breeding Program comes out from Sir Fluffy. He takes a worker at 2 conservation points and 2 size as well. So yeah, spending an X on that card's action to snap up Geologists gives him the flexibility to pick up those 2 size rewards. Which I generally like 2 size better than snapping. And I think especially in 4-player, snapping from display is not as important. In 2-player, it's definitely very important because it's a zero-sum game, right? Every card that goes into your hand makes your hand better, and it denies your opponent a good card as well. But in 4-player, that's not as clear, right? Because the person you're denying cards from, you don't know if they're going to be the person you're competing for the win. And so the people who benefit most from denial moves are the 2 people that are not involved. So um, generally not as important to be making denial type of plays. And with 4 people plucking stuff off of display, the quality of cards off display is generally not going to be as high as it is in 2-player. So I think at this point, with how the display has shaken out, I find a way to not have to grab a second Europe partner zoo. Because if I grab this leopard, given that I have a good chunk of excess money because my first round animals were so cheap, I can afford this leopard. I can grab an Africa partner zoo, and that gives me 1 conservation point, which makes up for doing Europe 4 instead of Europe 5. Right, so leopard gets me to 3 conservation points. Europe 4 will get me to 7, and then donation will get me to 8. So I think the leopard play works out here. And with nothing else planned in the future, just a random build 5, I think an aquarium is a decently good speculative move, and is able to cover a draw from range spot to pick up that leopard. But it does drop Marine Biologist in range for JD. These type of cards are quite good in 4 player, especially with marine animals being so popular, um, and 2 people having already built 5 size reefs. Um, and Sir Fluffy goes and gets his cable car out. Just covers him a rep spot, gives him an upgrade, which he goes for animals upgrade first. Panda just draws from deck. And here I grab the Africa Partner Zoo. Um, enable me to play that leopard, get some explorer value as well. All right, that was another reason why I like playing the leopard instead of grabbing another Europe Partner Zoo. One, it just gives me an animal to play. 2, it makes some progress towards getting explorer value. Plus Hunt. Hunt 4 is great. That's pretty much guaranteed to grab an animal. And even if I don't like it on this map, I can just sell it. JD finally throws down his fur seal, grabs himself his extra worker, marks Red Panda. And Sir Fluffy playing a reef animal with a clever effect. That is quite nice. He's going to have great control over his action order if he can pick up more reef animals. Panda also picks up a Africa Partner Zoo. I get out my breeding cooperation. At this point in the game, I'm also thinking of, do I have a line to grab 5 habitat diversity? Right. The leopard doesn't help me get there, right? But when I do play that Europe 4 with the donation, grab that extra partner zoo, that gets me. I'm probably going to grab an Asia partner zoo off of that. And so if I just find and play an America or Australia tag with the breeding co-op, that gets me to 5 tags. So that's something I'm hoping to find with either this hunt action or this cards action to get me just one more tag and um, potentially be able to uh, have the lead on that habitats project. Given that that free partner zoo is also going to give me my 3rd worker, so I can do 2 projects next round as well. Oh, and JD plays Horse Whisperer and does not get a petting zoo, and he whines in the chat about that. Sir Fluffy takes his 2nd university, which also gets him an extra worker, so he gets his 3rd worker by reputation. Yep, so Fluffy's already at 3. Panda goes for a building a single 1 size. Always hurts to do moves like that, but that's why people upgrade build. I go ahead and do cards at 4 again. Just want to be doing it as frequently as possible. Don't love those draws. I don't think I'm going to play either one of them. Secretary Bird, I have no reason to play it unless a release shows up, and I don't see one. Penguin, I've already built the aquarium for it, I guess, so I guess that doesn't get sold right away. JD draws a bunch of deck from deck and then picks up his red panda, which he marked earlier, for an extra $2. Expert Australia is pretty nice. I like that. Fluffy digs away the Guerza, which would be a good way for Panda to leech off primate breeding. I don't know if he has another plan for that 4 size in mind, but that could have been a good route for a project for Panda. Fluffy takes Expert in Africa and the American monkey there, and another monkey. So Fluffy stacking up on the monkeys here. Panda plays his Rayo and a pond turtle, so that's what the one size was for. So Panda looking like he's getting pretty close to Habitat 5 here. So that was the reason for the small build to get him more tags there. Um, and with Fluffy's previous move, that dropped Expert on Australia all the way down to folder 1. So that looks like a nice pickup for me, so I go ahead and build for it. So it's looking like a tight race between me and Panda for Habitat 5. I don't know if Panda anticipates that I'm close to it, but it all kind of depends on how Panda is getting that Asia tag. And Sir Fluffy picks up his third tag with a Europe partner zoo there. Panda lays down the baboon rock. So he'll get extra value from primates. I don't know that he has any more, but I'm glad that he has it and not Sir Fluffy, because we know he picked up multiple primates last round, even one with Monkey Gang, so he's got a lot of primates lined up. Now I finally get down my leopard. A little bit of explore value, conservation bump, and hunt, which just gives me a tapir, which is... It's another continent tag, but it's just way too expensive. I do have the 2 size for it, but I don't know if it's a card I really want to play. JD lays down Diversity Researcher. So that is great for him. He's already got double rock, double water tags, and now he's got total flexibility to build over these rock and water spots. So he definitely doesn't need to upgrade build. And Sir Fluffy goes ahead and triggers the break, get us out of this round here. And Panda markets a landscape bark gardener during the break here. Everyone else is getting to build their 2 sizes except for me because I went for a left worker line. And Panda gets his Asia tag with a Martin, so he wins the race to Habitats 5 here. But I win the race to 5 and 8 CP with my Europe 4 and a donate. So snag myself some X tokens. Get myself a snapping reward. And snap up a Tamarin and go for America Partner Zoo since I'm not getting... Well, actually, I could still get Habitat 5 with the Expert, but Panda's already snagging that next round. But the Tamarin with North America Partner Zoo is going to let me leech off the primate breeding here. Plus, I value the clever nicely to get some actions out of the way. JD goes and builds his own large aquarium, so now 3 of us have large aquariums already. Pelican plus Blue Mountain Park. Pretty nice combo on display here. And Fluffy just playing some cards from range here. Ibex and Devilfish, which goes ahead and Venoms Panda, which is slightly annoying, but he's got plenty of money. But it is nice for him that he triggers Reef and gets an X and a Clever out of it. Panda gets his Habitat Diversity and snaps up Australia Release. So that would make Pelican very good for him, but also good denial from JD, who's already got a first seal, who would have probably loved to have that release if he could. I go ahead and get down X around Australia, get some explore value, and go ahead and pouch that penguin. So a decent 4 points, 2 money. Although it looks like Sir Fluffy is going to grab the Habitats 4 before me as well. And he opts for 5 money, not going for the snapping. See, if this was 2-player, you definitely got to go snapping here to grab up the Pelican and deny it from Panda. But I think in 4 players, sometimes you can speculate on leaving that job up to someone else. But again, it's not me. I'm definitely losing if I waste my time snapping that Pelican, which doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, I guess it does make me progress towards that, but I need more, better things to be doing. Unfortunately, don't really grab anything too interesting. Um, the octopus, slightly interesting, given that I'm hurting for upgrades right now, and I'm not seeing how I'm going to get an animals upgrade soon. The octopus gives me a way to play an upgraded animal card. I also have plenty of X's. I was able to, um, I can do Habitats 3. Uh, I could have done Habitats 4 last round, but I didn't think it was worth a cube. I'd rather save it to be able to do either Predators or Australia in the future. So, yeah, I didn't think that one conservation point swing I didn't think was as important. And JD was only sitting on 2 continent tags, so um, I figured I was going to beat him to 3 anyways. JD plays his red panda, gets a ×2 on sponsors. Sir Fluffy goes ahead and just straight up breaks. And that also puts range in the break in range for Panda, which he does. So he spends an X to cause break. So just like that, break goes from 4 to 15 in 2 moves. So that's kind of the volatility of 4-player games where, yeah, it breaks 11 away, but that doesn't mean it's not happening soon. So um, denies me the use of 2 of my workers, denies JD his ×2. Also denies Sir Fluffy 2 of his workers. So a lot of people losing out here. I go ahead and discard Petting Zoo. I could get Explorer value out of it, but I don't know. I don't know. I just don't love Petting Zoos. A lot of Australia tags showing up on the board, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, a good reason for a Panda to be causing the break there is it gives him snapping, which is fortunate for him that a wave animal didn't come out, because that would have pushed Pelican off the board. But also, Kangaroo would have been another option for Australia release, albeit a more expensive one. I go ahead and snap the hippo here. I've already got the Africa Partner Zoo, so I like that. I did also consider Taipan, but I don't have a science tag yet. Kangaroo, just too expensive, I think. And JD gets the Taipan. Which I'm at the bottom of the totem pole for appeal, so I'm not going to get hit by it, so I don't mind too much. Depending on when JD plays it. Let's see, at this point, I forget what I did here. I just build something small. Oh, yeah. Okay, just build a 5 size, speculating on being able to do something with it. Right, because I know I'm going to do a project here, habitats, which will grab me a 2 size, which gives me 2 enclosures to play stuff. So I don't need to build a small enclosure. And at this point, with build being at 5, um, just get that speculative 5 size out of the way for a potential point bomb later. Maybe the Asian elephant. We'll see. JD just goes ahead and plays native lizards from range, which gets him 7 appeal, which is a pretty nice play for him. It was something I thought about, but I haven't connected a lot of rocks. I don't have build, which makes upgrading these rocks a bit awkward, so I don't think spending X's on a 3-point play was worth it for me, but definitely worth it for JD. And another reef animal pops up in perfect position for Sir Fluffy to pick it up and play it right away. And he hits me with a constriction, which is kind of annoying, given I don't have animals upgraded, because I am the leader on the conservation point track at this point. And without animals upgraded, that's really going to limit me to playing one animal unless I spend 2x tokens, which probably isn't worth it. And with Expert in Africa, he gets a ton of Glovers, so again, total control over his action order is really nice for him. So Native Seabirds pops up, which actually looks pretty good for me. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 water spots connected. A bird is a new icon for Explorer, so that would be 7 appeal. So that would be pretty nice. So actually, it's looking like I may just want to play only one animal over here so that I can stay under 25 appeal. And be able to play that Seabirds. And this is a pretty no-brainer. Conservation Zoo, I've got plenty of projects. Well, not plenty, but enough projects to probably get 3 or 4 conservation points out of this. Because I've got primate breeding coming up with the Tamarin when I play it. And then hopefully I can get either Australia or Predators. Um, Unfortunately, all those Australia animals that showed up have fallen off the board, so still wondering what we're going to do. The polar exhibit, bear exhibit, is looking nice. Yeah, I think I was looking at it earlier and placing it here. I think, this was a turn-based game, and sometimes the challenge is forgetting what you're thinking about doing, right? So I think that was one of those situations where at some point I was eyeing this polar bear exhibit to go up top here, and then when I came to make the build 5 move, I didn't remember I was thinking about that and blocked off that spot, which is unfortunate because now polar bear exhibit only fits here, which is going to waste the marketing spot, which I don't think I want to do because I am, like, Sir Fluffy is and Panda are looking pretty far ahead in this game, and if waste, I don't feel great about my position, especially not having my animals upgraded, and so I think getting a good sponsor play is what's going to help to dig me out of my hole here, and so I don't really feel like I want to waste that marketing spot. Sir Fluffy goes and leeches off the small animals that I had put out earlier. Opts to take for 5 money instead of, I think that's a wild tag. Panda grabs double science uni, which is interesting. Which gets him to 2 science tags, so maybe he's got a Sumatran tiger planned for that 4 size. So, this is a thing about action order, right? Even though I was only playing one animal last round, so I could have played the Tamarin instead of doing my project because I have the enclosure already for it. It's better to spend the X on the association and do it first, so that when I go and do this clever with the Tamarin, I am now also boosting up the association, which I would not have be able to do, right, if I had done animals first, right? Because association would already be at 5. So that's just a little thing about controlling your action order to pay attention to when you're playing, especially when you have clever animals coming up. JD finally gets his sand tiger shark down. Pretty nice pickups here, killing the bison and kangaroo. And he also plays down that tamarin, or taipan, which only hits Sir Fluffy at this point. Dingo and cheetah, um, nice things to show up. So cheetah gives me an easy route to Predator's 4 project, so I am eyeing that. And fortunately, I've already built that speculative 5 size. Because before that showed up, I think my thinking was that I was going to spend an X to snap seabirds, hoping that Polar Bear Exhibit stays on the board so that I can play the Polar Bear Exhibit and use the marketing to play seabirds. Um, I think that was a pretty hopeful plan to hope that those stay there, though. And I get constricted again by Panda, who plays a boa, because I'm still in the lead for conservation points, which is quite annoying. And Panda plays his Pelican, which I assume he'll get to release in the near future. So Pelican gets him a free build action, which gets him to cover an X. So yeah, he's got enough tempo to play that project. I go ahead and snap the cheetah. Uh, Normally not a great card, but it does get me the Predators 4 project, plus drawing 3 is quite nice on this map, because if I don't like the cards, I can just sell them. So even though I'm only grabbing 1 cards instead of, if I draw tech, I get 2 cards, Cheetah gets me an extra 3 cards, so the net overall effect is I'm seeing more cards anyways. The negative is that I would rather use the 5 size for an animal that gets me more points, but I think the Predators project is worth it. And JD goes ahead and grabs that polar bear exhibit. Another reason I was eyeing that polar bear exhibit is it helps for Predator as well. The polar bear exhibit plus the cheetah would have given me Predators 5, but Predators 4 is alright too. It's just 1 conservation point. Panda goes ahead and does his Pelican release. Gets that 4 size back, upgrades sponsors, picks up the wild tag. And what do I do? Yeah, I leech off the primate breeding program. At this point, grab myself some money, along with a donation. At this point in the game, I'm the only person who has upgraded a so I've had a nice run on getting all the cheap donations out. It is quite awkward, though, that my sponsors has been sitting up high for so long, and I just don't have anything to do with it. Got no sponsors in hand, nothing in range because my rep is so low. JD does get out a Australia 4 project here. And Sir Fluffy gets his Europe 2. And opts for double clever. um, since he's on Research Institute, adding on to all the clevers he already has. So total control over his action order, which is great for Sir Fluffy there. Panda draws some more from deck. So at this point, I'm thinking I really want to play the Seabirds. Um, I don't. It's not playable for anyone else, so I don't think anyone's going to deny me. I'm just going to draw something from range here to drop the Seabirds in range for me to play. Draw the Howler just because it's playable in a 3 size and not too expensive, so could be all right. JD snaps up the Cobra. Do Panda's X and down build. Now I can finally play a sponsor. We'll play that Seabirds for 7 points before I dip up above 25. And it cost me an X because I was constricted. Somewhat annoying. I sell the Howler. Still holding on to hope that this Octopus is going to enable me to play a good upgraded animal. Hopefully the Tortoise. That would be ideal. But I don't have the means to snap it up right now. Sir Fluffy does snap up the Tortoise. Or, no, digs it away. And draws some from deck. And he dug away Sea Lion, which would have been nice for me in that 3 size as well. I think maybe that was part of my decision to discard the Howler. If I could pick up the Sea Lion, that would be nice to pair with the Cheetah. It's also a nice leech off of the Australia release. Because 3 sizes are pretty uncommon, so they're not often contested for those middle release projects. Panda goes and causes a break here. He picks up Marabou, which is interesting. Not really a high value card, but maybe he's got a release. Nothing too interesting for me. So I think I just pick up the Water Playground here. Yeah. So I don't have enough rep for the Meerkat Den. Can't play the Native Farm. Way too late for Expert and Herbivores. And Vulture is just not enough points. It is not worth building a 5 size for Vulture. I get a Clever out of the way because the game's probably going to be wrapping up pretty soon. Alright, and display is replenished with Wolf, which would be pretty nice to pair with the Cheetah and get an extra CP off the Predators project, but I probably just don't have enough time to build for it here. Everyone else getting their income bonuses. Fluffy just Clever's build with his Clever project. So Panda breaks, so I get to go first. I am just going to play the Cheetah and hope to draw something that bails me out and gives me a plan to close out the game here. And we get Aquarium, which is not playable. Reindeer is nice, fits in the 3 size, scores the same amount as the Howler would have because of an extra Explorer bump. So that's okay. And Bird Management, that gives us a second project. We do only have 1 bird tag, but the Bird University is still available, and University is a reward. So I do go ahead and play that Reindeer now. The Hippo gets more value if I play it when sponsor is above a Soch. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point, but we'll see. Right, so counting up points here, it's actually looking like I can get pretty close to the end game with since I can build over rock, I could build two sides over here. It does kill a native seabird's point, but that lets me do double projects, right? So I could lead with predators 4 and a donate. That's 15. That gets me to 75. With the reward, I can grab a bird university, which enables the bird management plan. So 2 conservation points, and then I could build 2 pavilions, which is 8 points, and then another donation makes it 11. So 75 plus 11 is 8, puts me at 86. I'll probably grab 12 money as a reward from that, since 2 donations will cost 14. So I'll be down to 20 money. The bird uni does give me the science tag to finally be able to afford octopus. However, since animals is not upgraded, I won't be able to play both. Um, Not that I would have, yeah, well, actually, I would have anyways. Animals will be at 3 because I'll do build on the next move. Right, so 86 after the 2 projects. Only being able to play the hippo, I could do hippo into water playground, which will put me at 96, and then the move after that, I could play common octopus for 6 points to put me at 102. So I do have enough to cross in hand. Um, but everyone else is also sitting at 50 points, and particularly Fluffy and Panda have a lot of money, so they may be able to cross as well. But given that I do have a path to crossing in hand, we want to take a look at what can everyone else do. So getting from 50 to 100, you can't usually brute force your way with pure animals right now. You need big projects to be able to get there as well. And if you look at the board, no one's approaching 5 animals, 4 or 5 predators. I mean, because JD's already done it. No one's approaching 5 Australia because JD's already done 4, so he doesn't count. And then no one's approaching 5 Europe either. So all the base projects are pretty much off the board for everyone else. If we look at small animals, 8 small animals would be a pretty big chunk that could get someone there, but JD's only got 3. Sir Fluffy already did it. And then Panda's sitting on 5. So he might be able if he plays double animals twice, but he's only got 2 small enclosures, 2 big enclosures. I don't know if that's his plan. And that'll also take a couple of moves. Um, Australia release, JD could release this Taipan, but that's not a big move really. 3 conservation points, -5 appeal. That's only a 4-point play. So not big for him. Fluffy doesn't have one, and then Panda's the one who put out that project, so that's a couple points for JD, but not not anything huge. And then primary breeding, I mean, 1 conservation point is just not gonna be enough to get you towards the end of the game. So I'm thinking maybe I got a shot here. The thing that I think will propel the other players to be able to um, cross would be Rhino or Proboscis Monkey. Something that gives them that big project, get them towards the end of the game. So a Rhino would give Panda species diversity here. Fluffy, if he pairs it with a monkey, he could get monkeys 4. If he has Proboscis Monkey, obviously that gets him the Monkey's Project as well. So those are the things to look out for. And then JD doesn't even have a large enclosure, nor does he have space to build one. So I'm not sure how much gas in the tank JD has left. So JD goes ahead and just does that Australia release. Which does get him a donation along with it, so I guess 7-point play. But I mean, 59 points with only 24 money and no other projects looking out for it doesn't look great for him. But then the Proboscis Monkey does come out for Sir Fluffy. Huge point bomb in itself. And then Northern Mercury, uh, another big chunk of points as well um, for him there. So yeah, and cable car value. Cable car value on both of them. Right, so yeah, that hits his cable car end game as well. So I think Sir Fluffy's got the game in the bag at this point because he's got 5 primates coming up. And then Panda's got the Rhino as well. So there's his species diversity project that'll propel him to the end of the game as well. And a lion, so he gets that special token that lets him play the lion. Not a huge amount of pack value, but still a very efficient animal there. So Panda gets up to 76 with a 5 CP project in hand. So at this point, since I know the game is going to be ending in the next move, I have to abandon that line that gets me. Oh, sorry, I had a quick interruption there. Where was I? So, yeah, I had to shift plans here, right? I had laid out that plan of how I can get to 100 in, doing a build, double project, animals, right? So that would have been 4 moves. I would have been able to cross in. But knowing that Sir Fluffy is going to cross next move with the Primates 5 project means I only have 2 moves left. I could build, put the ×2 on a Soch, and that gets me to, what did I say, 86 after doing 2 projects. But it kills a native seabird's point, right? So that bird management plan goes from being 11 points to really only 10 points because it's killing some end games by building there. So instead, I decided to just do the Predators project and follow up with the Pygmy Hippo Water Playground because that is 10 points. So it's an extra 2 points. Little things like that um, can help you calculate and eke out a couple more points. So yeah, I just do the Predators project, donate, grab some X's. It doesn't really matter because my next play is just going to be a Hippo Playground and I don't need X's or money for either of those. JD goes and dumps all his X's into a double sponsor play. Being on Hollywood Hills, he can do that. Play some big sponsors. So Tech Institute, Science Library, gets him close to an extra endgame on Science Lab, and also, yeah, picks him up a Science Library endgame. Probably can pick up this Tech Institute endgame as well, because I figure his last move will probably be pick up another Science University to trigger 2 more endgames. Plus 1 CP itself, plus another donation will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 points. And then here comes the primates to end the game. Not only that, but he also gets the last worker for another 2 CP. So definitely this game's going to Sir Fluffy at this point. And then species diversity comes out for Panda, puts him at 91. No other special bonuses. Well, yep, Silver Lake, he gets an extra action, which he uses to build a pavilion. Kind of always a sad last extra move when it's just a build pavilion for 1. And then my last move, like I said, just play the Pygmy Hippo and follow that up into the Water Playground. Spend some X's to play X-Men Herbivores. Why not? Doesn't do anything. Just maybe pad my stats, make it look like I play more sponsors, I guess. And sadly, not getting use out of that marketing bonus. And JD's last move takes a Science 2 Rep Uni, along with their donation. Extra association worker, which does nothing. And then count up the end games. So Sir Fluffy runs away with it, 127. I end up in second place with 103, right? So those little extra calculations, I still would have won if I had done the double project, but it would have been a little bit closer, but extra 2 points with the Hippo Playground instead. Um, gets me a 3 point margin over JD. JD ends in third at 100, and Panda eking out fourth place at 99. So very close game. I think pretty unfortunate end games for Panda there. He got 4 appeal from Arcade, but then only 1 from a Small Animal Zoo there. And I got a breeding co-op, a native seabirds, and then my 4 point conservation zoo. So I had some decent end games there. JD had a lot, obviously playing a lot of sponsors. So that saved JD's game there. 2 from Science Lab, 1 Science Library, 1 Tech Institute, 6 appeal from a diversity researcher, which is nice. And then, of course, the sponsored zoo. Nice pickup on Hollywood Hills there. And Sir Fluffy with his cable car, 4X's for his expert on Africa. International Zoo, another 4 solidly puts him in the lead there. So very close uh, fight for second, third, fourth there, but Sir Fluffy with that proboscis monkey just closes it out. So uh, that's the game. Ends up being 27 Turner, which by 2 player standards would be a pretty quick game. Um, but also only 4 breaks, right? Normally a 4 break game goes a little bit longer, so that shows that everyone played fairly efficient, getting close to that 100 mark with only 4 breaks. Um, most of the breaks caused by Panda, so he was really pushing the tempo there. But I think this is pretty typical length for a 4 player game, especially with uh, several highly rated players to to play efficiently and push it out here. Um, yeah, I think this is the stat that really hurt for me. 116 money gained. That's I think that's really why Panda really hates the adder. I know Sam's pretty low on it too. As a first play to appeal really hurts your income. Even with selling cards, I was not able to make up a whole lot of money, so that hurts. Yeah, so that's it. 4 player Masters. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.